Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Kennedy once said, the purpose of life is to continue in some way to making things better. So as I come to the end of my 2-year term as chairman, these simple but inspiring words made me reflect on the purpose of our association. And I asked myself, how have we made things better? What difference have we made? And how can we continue to make a difference in the future? Now, of course, when I talk about the NAPF, I don't just mean the team of 40 that do a fantastic job for us from the London office. I mean all of us here today and all our members. We bring together 400 businesses and 1,300 schemes, representing 17 million members. That's equivalent to the population of the Netherlands, and nearly £1 trillion of assets, equivalent to the GDP of Australia. The NAPF is about all of us working together, using our skill and scale to deliver the best outcomes for the members who rely on us to help them save for their retirement. And looking back just over the last couple of years, it's clear to me that the NAPF has never been more relevant. We're making things better in Europe. Our work in Brussels and our contribution to Pensions Europe has helped protect UK schemes from the holistic balance sheet, protection from a £150 billion increase in deficits, an explosive stealth attack on UK business, and a diversion of cash away from investment in growth and also jobs. We've also secured a 2-year extension to exempt pension schemes from the central clearing of over-the-counter derivatives, saving pension funds across Europe around £2.2 billion a year. And after extensive lobbying, the NAPF contributed to a much simpler version of the new EORP directive on workplace pensions, which could bring even further savings. Our strength of voice in Europe is why the new European Commissioner of Financial Services, Jonathan Hill, chose this year's NAPF Investment Conference for his first UK speech since his appointment. And we've also made things better in the UK. We use the NAPF's skill and scale to develop the Pensions Infrastructure Platform, created by pension funds for pension funds, which has now raised over £1 billion for investment in UK infrastructure. It provides large and small schemes alike with access to good quality infrastructure investment, but at a fraction of the usual cost. And then we've influenced many smaller but equally important things that help all our lives to make it easier. We help secure the pensions regulator's objective to consider employer affordability. Without us, the regulator wouldn't be issuing guidance that helps DB schemes in the not-for-profit sector or multi-employer schemes to manage their risks effectively. Without us, the Pension Protection Fund levy wouldn't have a not-for-profit scorecard that treats those funds more fairly. But it's probably in the last 19 months that the need to make things better has been at its most critical. Without our collective strength, the practical details of many of the last government's freedom and choice reforms just wouldn't have gone our way. We helped make sure the regulator system for retirement risk warnings for members is more flexible and easier to manage than the FCA equivalent. And earlier this year, we won 3 policy changes on DB to DC transfers in the space of just 1 week, making it easier for trustees to meet the new requirements around advice. Freedom and choice also gave us the opportunity to get people talking about pensions in a simple, natural, and just more engaging way. Everyday people are now thinking and talking about what pensions means for them, both now but also when they retire. And later today, we're launching a film called Pension Revolution, filmed for us by ITN, which provides an interesting insight into how people are thinking and talking about their retirement savings. the flexibility to use your lifetime savings in whatever way you choose is the biggest change our industry has ever seen. But whilst there remains some big challenges to make freedom and choice really fit for savers, we now have some really strong foundations upon which to build a sustainable culture of saving for retirement. A simpler state pension where if you save £1, you get £1. Auto-enrolment, helping everyone to take that first step in saving for their retirement. And of course, freedom and choice, allowing those at retirement choice in how they receive their savings. But more change is on the horizon. The government says it wants to strengthen the incentive to save, but its ulterior motive is to increase short-term tax revenue. And if the government gets its way on reforms to pensions tax relief, we could see the recent wave of change, the pensions revolution, becoming a pensions implosion. Tax change that could literally dig up and smash the foundations that were set to create a society of lifetime savers, and instead putting pressure back on our ageing society. So as the social conscience and savers champion, we must continue to get the best outcome for savers and not just accept short-term change to overcome short-term challenge. We must also be wary of what change can actually do. The business strategist, Max McEwen, is probably not the only person to have said, change is inevitable, but progress is not. Change shouldn't be confused with improvement. If we stood and watched as changes are made to the industry, we'd end up with higher deficits, regulation that doesn't work, and reforms that can't be implemented. If we stand and watch, short-term fixes will damage long-term gains. But just to be clear, we shouldn't fight change because the right kind of change can make things better for savers. And our job is to help make sure the change that happens is the right change and delivers the right outcomes. And in a world of continuous change, your association needs to continue to be agile, relevant, and strong to make sure we meet your needs and the needs of those saving for retirement. And so tomorrow, Joanne will talk more about the changes we need to make as your association, the change we need to be. The title of this conference is Work, Save, Live. How do we think about work? How do we think about how we save and use our money as individuals, but also as professionals? How do we, the people who look after £1 trillion of other people's money, make sure we help to give them a better life? Members of our schemes are working longer, both out of preference, but sadly also out of need. But thanks to the way this industry has implemented auto-enrolment, work now comes with a pension. So millions more people in this country are saving for their retirement. But they now also have new needs, not to mention new options in retirement. Options what I think are an opportunity to create awareness of the value of savings, as well as the value that needs to be saved. And in 5 or 10 years' time, I'd like to sit in the audience and think we used this opportunity to really make things better. If we embrace change, we can make such a fantastic difference to help people have a better life in their later years. So let's start doing that this week at this conference. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to Manchester and the 2015 NAPF Annual Conference, and to thank all of you for joining us this week and joining the debate. These events show what makes this association so special, with the opportunity to connect with you, the leaders in our industry. I'd like to thank the sponsors, exhibitors, media partners, crew, and speakers who helped the NAPF team to make this such a success. But on a more personal note, I'd just like to say it's been a real privilege to be chairman over the last couple of years. And thank you all very much for your amazing support and passion, which I really, really appreciate. But I'm delighted that I'll be replaced by someone as passionate as Leslie Williams, who I know will lead us effectively through the next 2 years of exciting development. So enjoy the conference, and I'm looking forward to working with you and talking to you over the next few days. Thank you very much indeed.